The Witcher 4 executive producer admits that CD Projekt Red is aiming for new players and people who, quote, do not play our games with The Witcher 4. Roll this up over at phantompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. Encourage you to head on over there, become a paid subscriber, help us fight back against this woke ideology that is infecting the video games and is trying to infect and destroy our culture and society. So Malgorzata Mitrega, who is the executive producer for CD Projekt Red, said this during an interview with IGN discussing The Witcher 4 following the release of the game's announcement trailer at the Game Awards. And he said this, or Mitrega said this: "We want to aim for the new players, the wider audience, and also the people that know the franchise, but who maybe do not play our games." Is this the new term? New players is modern audience? Why would you not be aiming for your current player base? The people that are playing Cyberpunk 2077, the people that are playing The Witcher 3. I mean, you should be aiming for those too, right? Or are you just taking them for granted? You think that they're going to play the game no matter what? I mean, I'm all for wanting to expand the number of people playing your game, right? But I wouldn't think that it would be your aim. You would think you'd want to actually appeal to people that you've already got as customers, people who have been playing your games for years. You would think that's what you would want to do. We've seen this over and over and over again. We're just going to find the new audience. We're going to find that new modern audience. What ends up happening? Games are shut down 2 weeks. Studios sold off a month later. We're not even sold off, shut down a month later. Firewalk Studios, Concord. You can look at Volition, Saints Row reboot. Doesn't exist anymore. The Forspoken developer doesn't exist anymore. We've seen over and over again this year, layoffs after layoffs after layoffs. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. They're shutting that game down. Laying off employees. Trying to chase that new modern audience. Didn't work. Did not work. And they're not just trying to do this in their marketing. It's going to be affecting their story and gameplay in the game as well. We've got game director Sebastian Kalemba explaining this. We create story-driven games, so we want to make sure that people that buy games for story, they'll be able to experience the story in their own way, and they will be simply able to approach it. But people that are looking for specific challenges, they will also be able to experience the story in a challenging way. It just sounds like you're having like different difficulty levels. It seems like basic. But do they think that this like new audience isn't able to like have challenging games? I don't know. I do think there's an appeal to have a game where you don't have these varying difficulties. I think Elden Ring shows that, right? The popularity in the Souls-like games. That people like a challenge. And sure, we might get frustrated, but we're going to go back at it because we want to beat it. We want to conquer it. I think that's part of video games is the challenge, whether that be in multiplayer or single-player games. In regards to the story, Kalemba claims that the company wants, quote, to put player agency at the center, and that's seemingly why they chose to make Ciri the main protagonist. He says, we want to let players try to define her. She's about to form her own codex on her own terms. The way she actually deals with the monsters, the way she deals with quests, the adventures, it's her own unique way. We're giving more tools for players' disposal to be able to not only play and go with the consequences narratively, but also gameplay-wise. We want to give players more opportunities to be able to feel that they define their experience. This makes absolutely no sense to me. Why would you have a character such as Ciri as the main protagonist, but then you're literally saying we want players to basically play a created player? Like, why would you not just have a created character player if this is what you actually want to do? You want players to define their own stories, define their own characters, form their own codex on their own terms, the way they actually want to deal, how they want to deal with the monsters, the way they want to take on quest adventures in their own unique way. That sounds like what you want to do is you want players to have their own unique character. Like all of this, that's what that sounds like to me. This all sounds like you want player-created characters, but for whatever reason, you're making Ciri the main protagonist. It makes no sense. Especially when Ciri is a very well-defined character within the Witcher world, whether that be in the novels or even in the video games. He then talked more about the gameplay. He says, I believe the gameplay in Cyberpunk 2077 was more varied than that in The Witcher 3 and allowed more freedom when it comes to creating character builds and being able to experience encounters in your own way. This is something we definitely want to bring as a lesson to The Witcher 4. We want to improve on The Witcher 3's gameplay, but also we want to improve the alignment of the way you'll be able to explore the world. So this is very interesting to me. Now, obviously, Ciri has more potential to have more abilities, but they are clearly saying she's a Witcher, and Witchers fight and handle things a certain way because that is how it's passed down. And it sounds like they want to have Ciri be more than a Witcher. And so they're going to introduce lots of different gameplay mechanics to allow you to do more things than what you would expect a Witcher to do. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. Maybe that's not what they're saying at all, but that's what this sounds like to me. And again, that then begs the question, why are you making Ciri a Witcher to begin with if you're going to have her do things that a Witcher wouldn't do? So that is the latest on The Witcher 4. I think these people have a very, very long road ahead of them. And it's going to be a very empty road at the end of the day, because I do think that by their chasing of this new audience, these new players, this wider audience, they are abandoning their core audience. And a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing from these guys after this trailer is they don't really seem to understand what they're doing. They seemingly don't know why people liked The Witcher. And they're seemingly making a game that's supposedly a sequel, but it sounds like they want it to be almost completely un-Witcher. It's like almost like they're making a game that wasn't really supposed to be part of The Witcher, but they needed the Witcher brand to try and sell it, is what it sounds like to me. That's what all of this looks like to me. Everything I've been seeing from this really seems to be what it is. Like, and they should have just created a whole new franchise. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know what you make of what you think of the EP here, saying that they are aiming for new players and the wider audience, and also the people that know the franchise but who maybe do not play our games. So I guess they're trying to get the Netflix viewers. I mean, the Netflix show has done significant damage to the brand of The Witcher. I don't know why you would want to try and bring those people on. I stopped watching that show after the first season because it was terrible. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always speak the truth.